So, fun fact about Jaclyn, she puts maple syrup in her coffee to sweeten it. How lovely. I know. I don't think I've shared that tidbit before.
It's much less malicious now that we go on.
It started out with me bullying you.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry. We're moving into nicer things.
We're friends
Let's
now.
roll the intro.
Well, welcome back to Poddy Talk,
The podcast where we shit talk ourselves.
I'm Jac.
And I'm Torri.
And today is a very exciting episode because we are decked out in some pretty epic matching
Nike gear.
tracksuits.
We have our Nike team here today, and
so
it's the first time
flexible.
we've ever had an audience, which is it's a little
lot
bit
of
of
audience.
pressure, but we're
I think
excited.
This is kind of a good insight into the future. We've been trying to manifest a TV show, a proper on-air TV show with a live studio, so maybe this is our first taste of it. If this goes well, hey, maybe next up we're taking over the studios downstairs.
I'm ready for that. Well, this episode is brought to you by Roar Organic Canada. Roar Organic is the next generation of premium electrolyte beverages for millennial hustlers like you. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder or looking to tear it down, hitting the gym or hitting the pavement, Roar Organic has the ingredients for success. It's got organic electrolytes for faster hydration, antioxidants to protect against free radicals, and B vitamins to help you be a go-getter.
I actually drink these all the time, and I'm so obsessed with them. Sometimes I'll grab one after a workout to replenish my electrolytes, or even just to go along with my lunch. Since they're so low in sugar with no preservatives or artificial flavors, it's a perfect alternative to water or other sugar-packed beverages.
Now, since we want our Poddy Talk listeners to try this beverage out, we're hosting a giveaway over on our Instagram. Wow, that was intense.
That was a nice one. I did
One lucky winner will receive a case of Roar. So to enter, go to @PoddyTalkPodcast on Instagram and go to our most recent post, or with the post with the caption, episode 19 giveaway, and all the details on how to enter for the chance to win Roar will be on the post. So good luck to everyone.
I'm in the best mood today. I really
Yeah.
am. I got in on an earlier flight home from New York last night, and I got an extra hour of sleep that I thought was going to escape me. So I
beautiful.
am like alive. And you
Yeah.
said, you were saying you're in a good mood too.
Yeah, I did a hot yoga class last night, and we're going to dive into a bit of our fitness routines shortly.
Or lack
but
of.
hey, speak for yourself. I've been working, and it was so good. Like, you know, like a true sweat when you're just, you feel
And you feel
cleansed.
like your skin's getting better because of it.
Yes. So I did a hot yoga, or it was really a Pilates. Like, we were lifting weights in this hot room, and it was so good.
Well, if you were sweating, I can only imagine what I would be like, because you don't
I
sweat.
actually thought of you
like,
in that class.
I would have been
thought,
slipping.
I actually thought, wow, Jaclyn would not survive this class.
Did you bring in a towel to towel off, or you just...
So I actually
need to
forgot
bring
a towel.
Oh, no.
And also I signed up for the class 10 minutes before, and I was, a first comer. And you know when you walk into a studio and they kind of give you the eye, like, oh, you haven't been here before, you haven't filled out the health forms, and you came 3 minutes before the class is starting.
And that's me every time.
And it was one of those like awkward scenarios, and the woman goes, oh, you haven't been to the class before? Here's the health form. And I thought,
You
oh,
should have
Jesus.
15 minutes
yeah, well,
prior.
and it always says that,
Yeah,
and
like, I'm not gonna
came
do that.
3 minutes prior. But then I had a nice backup, because I said, oh, actually I have done one test class here because we had gone for a media test once.
So I didn't fully hate you.
So she goes, oh, you're free to go then. And I thought, oh, I made it. So I made it into class on time. But then it was really awkward. I've never been in a class, because Soul Cycle, I do Soul a lot. And those classes are very much, if you leave the class, people frown, people give you the dirtiest looks. You can't even bring in your phone. You can't even bring in an Apple Watch most of the time.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because the light, it distracts some of the instructors. So they don't let you do that. So then I thought, okay, so I go into this yoga class yesterday, but then literally 20 minutes in, I'm thinking, oh damn, I'm gonna die. Like, it's really hot and I don't have a towel.
This is the end.
But then all of these people started leaving the class, like just getting up off their mat and walking out, and either
Like they tapped out. They're like,
well,
I'm done.
Not leaving, but they'd leave for 5 minutes, I guess, sit outside, cool off, and then come back in. And I thought, well, that would have been nice if someone had given me that information that it was.
I think they have to do that though, because the rooms are so heated. Like, what if people start dropping like flies and they're passing out? Like, they tell you. But I thought I did pretty good. They normally say if you're feeling lightheaded and downward dog for child's pose.
She said go to child's pose. She didn't say, hey, go out onto friggin' the street and hang out. Like, so I thought it was so strange that at least 10 out of the 20 people that were in the class had started to take these nice breaks.
And the doors are like banging.
But then I was even more proud of myself, because I didn't take a break. But then by the end,
I'm still in here. And you're like dying.
But then even at one point, the instructor left for like at least 2 minutes. Like, she got us doing this like crazy exercise, and then she left. And I thought,
so you're some type of superhuman who can withstand.
I'm pretty good with heat. I'm pretty good. How do you feel? Would you rather be in a hot room or a cold room?
You know what? I've been asked this multiple times, and I just say preference is neutral.
Well, that's not a fair answer.
I would like to just be comfortable. Because, okay, I do sweat a lot, but I also sweat if I'm cold. It makes no sense. Like, if I'm like,
oh, you got cold sweats. So I actually didn't. I didn't want to have a boyfriend in middle school because my biggest insecurity was my clammy hands. So I thought I can only date someone in the winter because that would mean I'd have mittens on, so they'd never have to feel. Look at how
they are clammy.
I know. It's kind of disgusting. So it's
You're like
weird.
A little, like, reptilian.
I know. That's what it feels like. So I literally in my head thought when I was like 12, I thought, okay, my rationale was I'll only date in the winter time and I'll only hold their hand when I have mittens on. And I never had a boyfriend, so it never came to fruition. But that was my plan. But now, I mean, my boyfriend now never really has ever said anything.
It's probably good, though, to add some, like, a little bit of a stick and, like, grip to the yoga mat, because I used to find when I used to do yoga.
Oh, would you get sweaty hands?
Well, I would be sweaty all over, but I would sometimes, like, actually slip on the mat.
Could you imagine how funny that would be if you just landed on your face?
Yeah, but no, there's a very specific, like, rubber yoga mat that I have that, like, it is extra, like, grippy, and that's the only one that I can use, so I, like, store it in a special place. But
that's great.
Yoga is something that I need to get back into, and especially this episode, anyone who's been listening for a while is going to cringe because every time
we talk about the half marathon,
you guys laugh because it's our only claim to fame right now. But I need to be doing it more, especially because of the half marathon.
Well, I have been finding my legs are
we've been running long distances.
Tight.
We both ran the furthest distance that we had ever run before, and it was maybe a week ago.
18K.
We ran 18K, which
I said to my mom,
good.
She goes, "How'd it go?" I go, I thought I was going to throw up. She's like, okay.
I think we should talk about some things that we've learned, because if anyone else
some tips and tricks.
Yeah, because something that we learned from our coach is that you should be drinking water like at least every 7
Which
kilometers.
Actually helped us, because at first we weren't hydrating throughout. It was more like you'd hydrate before and then not really take too much water throughout the run.
I used to convince myself that I would get a cramp if I drank water throughout, and I think maybe at first your body isn't used to it if you're used to running on nothing.
True.
So the first few times it was a little wonky, but if you're dehydrated, that's going to be way worse in the long run, and you're going to cramp up or an injury is going to happen. So taking those, especially we run along the waterfront here in Toronto, and you always have your volume on.
I'm sorry.
Number one rule.
I know.
But we run along the waterfront here in Toronto, and there are like a bunch of little water fountains, like every like 3 or 4K actually, which we used to run by them and not even realize they were there, but we recently discovered them. And we make a point at least every 7K to like stop and like take a bit of water, if not more.
Yeah.
But the water has been very integral.
How do you feel about all the those, I know, what are they even called? The gels, like running gels. These are things that I had never even heard of, and I don't know if that's just because I'm uneducated in this space and I didn't realize that people running long distances were taking the gels. But this is something Jaclyn and I cannot get on board with.
So maybe we just need your advice. So if you are listening and you are a runner or you actively take these like sport gels, comment down below which ones you prefer.
It's basically just like a way to keep your sugar and salt levels in the right place. So in theory, it sounds like a great idea, but they just don't taste like a treat. They're not my favorite taste.
Yeah, normally when people like run, if they're doing longer distances, they'll have like a little pack on, or they'll just like keep them in their little like, the Nike leggings often have like a little like pouch you can just throw them in.
I'm gonna do Swedish berries. That's my...
So our coach was saying you could have a little candy, a little Swedish berry, or even like a cranberry or a raisin if you're being super healthy.
Ooh.
But our other coach was saying that she actually finds it a little difficult to chew as she's running, so she doesn't like to eat things.
I could see that. Like drinking something is a lot easier than chewing something.
So these are more of like a pudding.
Also, that could like gross me out. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you're running and you're eating.
I don't know. So that's something I'm still navigating. Our marathon is like 5 weeks away, so we need to navigate that quickly.
I said pudding, and she kind of laughed, but then I took that as an option.
You're gonna take a snack pack and you're like.
Doesn't that seem like
just squeeze it? Like,
well, yeah, and maybe
that will make me die.
I could eat a pudding honestly at any
chocolate pudding
any moment. I love pudding. Yeah,
pudding would be the thing in my lunch that my mom would pack, and I would always bring it back home untouched.
Ooh, see, I never got treats. I was the kid that got hard-boiled eggs packed in my lunch. So if I had a pudding at any moment, I would have been thrilled. I used to trade. I'd like people would have Dunkaroos, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'll give you my carrots, and then we'd switch.
Fruit Gushers. I used to like.
My mom didn't. You know what my mom bought? This is like really
what.
Bear paws. That was my treat.
Banana bear paws are so good. I still stand by those.
Wait, actually? I was thinking that was like kind of a late
No,
a
well,
lame
that's like
thing.
I'm lame though. Like I think that's really cool.
It's very like granola eating.
But listen to this. So my mom would actually like she packed my lunches up until literally like high school.
That's
like,
so
and
lucky.
She was so good. Like would chop all the vegetables.
What?
Up. She was really good.
My parents gave up on me after like grade 7. They're like, you're on your own, kid.
I had it until like high school, and then in high school you're like, I'm cool. I'm gonna like buy my lunch.
I know. I always had chicken. I made chicken nuggets every day for like 4 years, and I would eat them in science class. And once my science teacher called me out, and he's like, "Torri, you've got to stop eating chicken nuggets in class."
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, "Okay, it's time for me to like change up my lunch and like not eat during my classes."
My mom used to make these like amazing sandwiches, but when you're a kid and you're so used to eating the same food, like you don't realize what is nice / what is like you should be
a luxury.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
She would have like a croissant. She'd cut it in half and put like fresh lunch meats and like make these beautiful sandwiches.
Yeah,
and, like,
she
put
would.
in a little little Tupperware, and I would trade those away. So like to a Courtney who she'd been packing her lunch like all the time, and she would pack like these cool Dunkaroos and the fruit roll-ups and what were all the cool kid snacks. I don't know, all these cool snacks that I never was given and I felt deprived of. So I would trade her this like beautiful gourmet like sandwich for like a Dunkaroo pack. But to me,
the
I
thing
was
that
winning. I
the
would
thing
just
that
eat
actually
icing.
gets me about the lunch making is
What?
that my sister and I, we got no attention in terms of lunch making. It was very much like if I was lucky, my dad would help with something. But then my younger brother, 5 years younger than me, let me tell you that he would be getting like chopped sausage with a fresh salad and the da-da-da
They'd make a specific
and a
pasta
spaghetti.
dish for
And
it.
I'm like, come on, kid. Like, this is so extra. Like, I'm like, meanwhile, I survived off chocolate milk and chicken nuggets for like
my
8 years because that's all I knew how to make.
Did you guys have like pizza days at your school? We would have pizza day like once every like the final
Yeah,
Friday
like
of
on
the month.
Fridays, sometimes, but not in high school.
Oh no, not in high school either.
No, but like middle school, I feel like I
we
had
would
it.
value that more. We should bring that to high school.
Yeah, like
Pizza days every Friday in high
the
school.
issue became the calf because I would just be like, oh, I'm gonna buy a cookie for lunch, and then I would just like buy.
Wait, did you have amazing
treats.
calf cookies too?
Yes,
Did
like
we all have the same ones
chocolate
at lunch?
chip cookies.
And like we had this
But
epic
big,
nugget.
were they
Yes.
massive?
And we had this
Maybe everyone had the same recipe and they were
just
just
like frozen
ew,
box that
it
they
probably
just, like,
was.
defrosted.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I always thought they were fresh cookies, but now that I'm thinking about it, they were definitely like frozen.
This
disgusting.
is triggered a memory.
What?
Did you ever have like a cooking like culinary class in high school?
Oh, obviously you know that I failed that class. Like
you took it?
Well, I took it. I didn't actually. You mean like home ec?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't fail it obviously, but like I didn't do very well in that class because one, I hate cooking.
Yeah.
Two, me engaging with any type of like kitchen
Utensil,
activity was like not
good.
ideal.
It's actually
and then
unsafe.
the other part of the class was like building things, also not a strong suit for me. So this
It was
entire
like woodworking as well?
yeah,
Oh, that's
woodworking and then like cooking.
That was a separate class.
Wait, what was it actually called? It was
Ours
like
was
woodworking,
called-
but my prof thought I was just struggling. Like he was like, this girl is so confused. I would like sit in the corner and like gossip with my friends, and he's like, ma'am, like you need to be like cutting this wood right now. And I would like find different boys to like become friends with so that they could like help me. Anyways, it's not a good story.
Class, but ours, we had a culinary class, and I was so excited. I watch Chopped all the time. I live my life thinking I'm on like a 20-minute Chopped schedule. I'm like, I've got 3 ingredients.
We're like the
basil.
total opposite, yeah.
And I feel like I thrive really in those situations. So I was super excited in grade 10. You get to take the food class if you want to. But the thing is that the students that are in this cooking class actually make the main like dish for the cafeteria.
Right.
So like if you're making like an enchilada for the day, that goes to the
Wait,
caf.
you end up feeding the children?
Yes.
Okay,
So these
that is
so
crazy.
think of this. It's grade 10, 11, and 12 students that are making the food for the general public of the school, for the staff, for the students.
Oh,
Like, that's
God.
the main dish. So we're like learning / experimenting / being unsanitary for sure about all of these things. And this actually ties into the beauty world as well. So it was one fun day.
It does seem very unsanitary, I have to say.
No, and like there would be stories about like, oh, did you hear that so-and-so did this to the soup? And you're
Would
like,
they eat it? Would people actually
yes.
buy it?
And I knew to stay clear of it. If
Okay.
you ever in the class, you know you don't eat that food. But
Ew.
like actively, there's kids, it's the main meal. Like even teachers, like everyone's eating that food.
That's disgusting. Okay.
Exactly. So that's why the bagels were safe because the bagels were just like in a bag, so you could just have like a toasted bagel and cream cheese. So I would eat that sometimes for lunch, and like the cookies would be a meal. Not healthy, but I would do it. But you would never want to have the hot meal because it was so questionable.
Ew.
So listen to this. Let me set the scene. It's grade 10. My cooking partner, Megan, I have to say, I won the cooking award in grade 10. And
What
she
is with you talking about all these awards that you won from the age of like grade 10 to grade 12 and then
I really peaked at age 13.
where's the rest of the awards? It's like, I won the English award. I also won the cooking award.
I came from a small town. I think it was not
You've just won
not a huge
every
accolade.
award through high school.
But no, my cooking partner, Megan, actually, you've met Megan. She was at my birthday.
Yeah.
So she was so upset. She goes, oh my God, how do you get the cooking award? We were partners. We made all the dishes together. But there was one incident where she poured too much soy sauce and ruined her dumplings. So that was, I think, what really, made me stand out from her. But anyways, I digress. So we're cooking. It was actually brownies for the calf. It was like the dessert of the day. And
you put weed in them?
No.
That would be hilarious. Could you imagine? You're like, oh, so sorry. Like, have a good day to the teachers.
Oh, God, but there was pregnant teachers, and I think there was, like, a weird situation where someone had...
Oh, that's dangerous. I was obviously kidding.
No, but like, I had heard a story, like, from years prior, and there was a teacher who was, like, pregnant, so it was, like, I mean, not only is it illegal to do that to people, but it was like a huge
on a legal level.
Yeah, legally we're having some problems, but no, mine was much more PC than that.
Okay.
But basically I was very into nail art, so I used to love painting my nails.
Tell me a nail fell into it. That is disgusting.
So, and I had, it was when, like, do you remember when studs were really big? Like, you get studs on phone cases, studs on your, like, denim.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus made the stud.
Totally. Mm-hmm. So I bought nail studs. So I, like, did, like, a little cross on my nails, and I was loving these gold nail studs.
Oh, that's
but also,
so
I'm
gross.
working with, like, nail polish. It's not like it's shellac. Like, it's not meant to last, right? So I did my nails the night before. I'm feeling good. I'm in my cooking class. I'm, like, washing my hands, getting ready, putting on my chef suit.
Don't you have to wear gloves? Sorry, not trying to, like...
We didn't at the time.
Interesting.
Is that? I don't think you do, because that's actually a hazard probably when you're... I don't know. I'm not sure. Any chefs, let us know.
That's a hazard, not the nail falling into the brownie?
I don't think you can have your nails done if you're probably working in a proper kitchen. Long story short, me and Megan are whipping up this batter. Our brownies go in the oven. And, like, whatever, we're scraping the pans. And I kind of thought I saw something maybe in the batter. Something caught my eye, but then it quickly was buried back in the brown batter. We put them in the oven, and then I noticed, I'm like, oh, all of my nail studs.
Oh, God, all of them?
Like, all but one. So we're talking at least 25 individual square pieces.
Tell me you tossed the brownies.
No, I had to put them out. It was our great...
What do you mean you had to? You could have easily just been like, look, ma'am, we've had an issue.
Maybe I could have done that, but that's not what happened. They went out.
Because you needed the cooking award and you weren't going to, like, own up to your...
Someone had some extra little sprinkles
hideous
in their
behavior.
brownies.
That's disgusting.
Sorry.
I'm never going to trust your cooking
crazy?
from you again.
I don't do the nail studs anymore, so I should be clear, but I will, I guess. I don't know. It was a crazy year. I loved the class, though, but that was my downfall.
I couldn't imagine, like, taking a class like that now. Like, could you imagine me going to, like, a college for baking?
No. You know that I've, like, actively pursued going to George Brown for this, like, vegetarian vegan cooking class they have. I would love that.
That sounds so fun for you. I would hate that.
Okay, speaking of all this food, brownies, cooking, what do you find is, like, the best meal before, like, a workout? Because I know we were talking a bit about the marathon. Do you have, like, your go-to breakfast planned?
Yeah, I think... well, I'm really into oatmeal these days, but that's just like a personal preference.
Yeah.
I also have always been into eggs, which I know is very polarizing. People either like love or hate eggs in the morning. Sometimes I actually cannot handle eggs in the morning. It's like a very specific thing. Like I'm always
the taste or like the way it feels.
No, like the consistency. And I don't know. I feel like that's pretty common. A lot of people say that. Like you have to be like in the mood for eggs. I don't know why. Anyways, a carb will always do me good. Like a piece of toast with peanut butter, or oatmeal or anything in that realm. But I don't like sweet breakfasts at all. Like I would never do a French toast. I would never do a pancake. I would never do like even on like a.
It's like a brunch. I feel like. That's
but
like
even a brunch, that's not. I'm savory over sweet always. Like I'd rather have a potato with like toast and eggs and bacon as opposed to like a sweet
like
pancake.
Acai bowl or,
Yeah, no, I don't want any of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for the marathon, I've kind of decided.
Oh, and apples and peanut butter right before a run is like my favorite.
Yeah, like as a little snack, like an hour
sweet,
and a half
but
before.
protein and fat, heavy.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a good thing to be said about like the protein, carb, fat balance.
Combination.
Sorting that out right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have too many liquids, but you want to be hydrated enough before. So it kind of is like a bit of like, I don't want to say guesswork, but you do have to kind of like figure out your routine.
What works for you, yeah.
It can really mess you up. If I've drinking way too much water before, like it affects me in a negative way.
Yeah, you move
But then if
slower.
I don't drink enough, then I'm screwed.
Dehydrated and dying.
You really have to be in tune with your body, and I agree. I think having a nice piece of toast with like a nice natural peanut butter on top with a bit of either banana or like a nice jam with like hemp hearts to get some protein. That's what I've been doing, and I love that. But yeah, I'm still experimenting.
Nice.
I'm not sure what my race day meal will be.
Well, my biggest thing is that we
right?
keep training at night and the run is in the morning, which is going to really be interesting.
So I think what we should do now on the Saturdays when we do our long runs, we should like bright and early do it. But sometimes life gets in the way.
Comment below if we've motivated you to do a half marathon. I would love to know.
I think the reality is it's so easy also to kind of fall out of it, but once you're in it and doing it, it's so much easier to stick with it. Like even
we talk about like doing it as a team or like the support of each other. It's like I wouldn't run 18K if I was alone, but
no,
like
you motivated me to keep going.
And you motivated me.
Poddy talk. Yeah,
Love
no,
it.
it definitely was a great run. But yeah, having the accountability of friends is so much easier. And I find too, you just kind of almost have to put it into your schedule. Like we travel a lot too, and when we travel, we're like, hey, pack a running outfit. We're gonna go. Like I did literally yesterday, I ran through Central Park.
Yeah.
And I just I knew I had to do it because that was on my schedule, and it's kind of like a non-negotiable. So if you kind of train your brain to just, it's part of your day. Like you kind of have no option. You got to do it.
I also feel like it's
no excuses.
Totally. I think it's nice. Well, we talked about kind of our experience growing up in teams, like whether that's, you know, gymnastics or dance or like different commitments we had made to our fitness, like even as kids. And there's something about a team sport that's very different than like an individual pursuit when it comes to like athletics.
What did you grow up doing? What was your like go-to sport as a kid?
Well, I grew up dancing competitively in a really intense way. I did everything, like jazz, tap, ballet.
You were a tapper.
Oh, I'm still good at tap. Yeah. I mean, I don't really actively do it anymore, but sometimes when the beat hits, it's just I'm taken away.
Shuffle ball change.
Like even when I don't have tap shoes on, I was at a music festival. I just started tap dancing. It was so weird. But anyways, and it's actually funny because the studio that I danced out of, it was in Scarborough, and they were super anti-solos, which was very different than a lot of my friends that I like went to high school with and even like elementary school with that were so into like dancing solos, dancing duets, all these things. I was only ever allowed to dance in a group. Like that was the only competitive dance that they offered was groups. So
what was the reasoning?
Small groups, like groups of like 6 or 7 of us. Okay. But we would do bigger groups as well. But normally, like, our jazz group would be, like, 6 or 7 girls. Well, the reasoning was, like, you're not a star. You're going to learn how to, like, coordinate within a group and learn how to, like, be collaborative.
Deal with this news as a child?
I was like, you're still going to put me front and center, obviously.
I'm still taking center stage.
I mean, but it motivated me to work harder because for me to get center stage, it wasn't given to me because I was getting a solo. It was only given to me based off merit, which made it taste even better, if that makes sense.
Did you get a solo eventually?
Well, they never did solos.
No,
so hilariously, like moving into my later years, like obviously I like trained in musical theater and went on to do like so many different shows where I ended up obviously doing dance solos and singing solos and all of these things. But that didn't come until much later. My like actual foundation of training was very much based on teamwork. And I think there's something really, really great to that. Like my sister as well, like grew up playing hockey. My dad was the coach, and it was very much that there's like that camaraderie that you can't get from when you're working out alone, which is why I think I still appreciate running with you because I need that like
training
motivation.
With our whole like team phase group is super helpful because it's nice to have like our weekly trainings
Totally.
and do things as a group and as a team. Because I completely agree. Like I grew up doing like I think I tried like every sport as a kid. Tried hockey.
Yeah, did you? I feel like you would have been like a soccer, hockey, basketball.
I did a lot. Basketball I suck at. I played hockey for like a year. I did baseball just to try it. Swimming. I'm pretty much on every sport, but what I stuck to, I love doing gymnastics. I did that since I was a kid. Like, I love tumbling.
And you cheerleaded, which was a world I never got into.
Power cheer, which I actually
power cheer.
Yeah, like all-star power. It's not just like school cheerleading. It's like, you know, when you see like Bring It On, and they do like what was that one move? Do you remember the Bring It On movie when it was like you've got to do the dragon twist? Blah, blah, blah. Like, now that that's what it's called, but it was actually so interesting though. So I grew up doing a bunch of team sports and like dancing and track and field and like did all the things, but really when I got to high school, I took a break, I think, for like a year from like any organized sport, and then I was really missing having that in my life because there really is something so beautiful having an outside commitment. Even I just think like growing up, having the idea of responsibility and like learning to be like a team, like there's so many like life skills.
I always say that. Someone asked me recently, she's also a blogger in the space, and her daughter's like 2 years old, and she posts a lot of content of her daughter, and I keep saying, I'm like, oh my God, I really relate to your daughter, like things she does and like how she tries to like grab the camera and like be so annoying. Not annoying, but like be so, you know, bold and upfront and all those things. I'm like, oh, I really, really relate to that because as a kid I was like that. And she said, well, how did you feel, like how did your parents feel about you getting into like performing and dance and all of that? Sure. And my comment to her was, if I hadn't gotten into those things so young, I don't think that my work ethic or my, you know, my collaboration skills or all these things that I rely on.
Be a team player and work.
Yeah, it's not about like, oh, I wanted to be an actor, or oh, I wanted to be a performer. It's because at that age, that's not what you're thinking about.
No, not
4
at
years
all.
old when you're dancing. You're not saying, I'm going to be a star. You're just thinking, oh, I get to like be with all these people doing an activity that I love.
I will say though, one thing when I used to do dance, I used to always get so excited for costumes when you'd find out what they were. You'd be like,
oh my God, it's the most exciting.
But then I feel like multiple years I was like, oh.
Let down?
Yeah, you know when you get that one costume, you're like, I hated that costume.
No, okay, so this is hilarious because my studio was co-owned by sisters. One sister was like the dance like head, but then the other half of our entire studio was a costume studio. So we had this insane luxury that all of our costumes were kind of way cheaper for like what we were getting because we were getting them at like cost essentially, but also way more creative. So we always won the costume awards. There was one year we did our like jazz like foursome, or there was 6 of us, I guess. We were the cats, but like literally had the jumpsuits,
like tails,
full wigs, full nose. Like we would do the spirit gum as a makeup artist. You would appreciate that.
God.
Glue on the noses, glue on the hat, glue on the wigs. We would have like crazy cat eyes, like it was, and like full on velvet outfits with like fur. Like
that is insane.
So like we won so many awards for our costumes. Whether or not our dancing was on par, we were winning costume awards right, left, and center. So that was ideal.
No, dance was like such a crazy world, and I feel like if you were in the dance world, you know what's up.
Did you have a lot of stage moms in your?
You know, okay, so I never did dance as seriously, I don't think, as you did. Like I did competitive, but I would only do 1 or 2 numbers. Like I did acro, and like that was pretty much it. Or like my solo. We were allowed to do solos. It wasn't as strict as yours. But it was more, what I actually found very interesting, and especially now looking back in hindsight. So I started doing cheerleading when I was in high school. And I feel like growing up, you always hear like cheerleading is like so much drama, like cat fights, like all of that stuff. And I mean, I guess it does depend, like
what team you end up on.
Totally.
Yeah.
I used to cheer for the Cheer Sport Sharks. Shouts out to anyone that cheers for them now. And it was honestly one of like the best experiences of my life, and I'm so glad that I got to do that throughout high school. It was, for me, it was not in my hometown, so it was like a totally new group of girls.
Nice.
So many new people. It was like a fun way to be active, but then also like there was so much like, I don't want to be like annoying and say like sisterhood, but there was a lot of like bonding in that way.
Yeah.
And like you had like your cheer
It's
sister,
true.
like your little like buddy, and like you would travel and go to like Myrtle Beach and go to competitions and go to the States. And, like,
I love Myrtle Beach.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
And also like so encouraging. Like I started off like on like a level 2 team. It was like my first year doing cheer.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like kind of at a different skill set level. Like there were some girls who were in like their mid-teenage years just learning how to tumble then.
Yeah.
And some people who like could like fully do like lines on their own. But it was all like very collaborative and like so supportive, and like, I mean, at least maybe from my perspective, I didn't have any drama. I wasn't involved in it. Like maybe there was stories that I don't know about, but like from my perspective, it was like the best
very
experience,
drama-free,
and like totally just so pure and fun, and like I
agree.
I wish I did it earlier. That was my only regret.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wish I did it when I was like starting from like
I
age
agree
6.
in my dance days that's how it felt, but once I got into the theater world, that is definitely not how it felt. It became very clear very quickly, like,
because you're all fighting for like one role, right?
and I guess that's the problem. It's like if you end up being, it's way more competitive, and I guess maybe that's a part of why my dance world was very much the way it was to kind of take that competition out of the studio. Like you can be competitive against other studios, but like within the studio, we're not trying to like pit people up for a certain solo or pit people up for a certain
that's
thing.
Really smart.
Yeah, and I think it creates a really nice space, obviously, for people not to get into those weird catfights or jealousy or all of those things. But when I got to high school, that was very much not the case.
Okay, tell me the tea. What happened?
Well, I just got every lead role, and people didn't love that.
And that's why I have no friends.
No, not at all. But I think, I mean, I had the personality that I could handle that.
Totally.
But I also think there was so much talk behilike the scenes. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, like Tori's parents bought the role for her. And it's like, well, first of all, that makes no sense.
Grandpa owns Webster's dictionary, so.
Just like random things like that. And it's like, okay, well, no, like obviously it's based off merit. And I can always appreciate, like if someone was better than me, then I think it's up to you to be okay with the fact that another role is a better fit for you. Totally. I think people have a hard time if they see themselves in a certain role. I know, but it's like if they see themselves in a certain role and you book that role, or like vice versa, then I don't know, people can have a hard time with rejection. That's something obviously we've talked about forever. Like we just have constantly been rejected in the film and television world. So I'm very much like at peace with that. Like I can accept that if someone is better at it than me, that I would actually prefer they do it. I don't
take this.
Exactly. I'm like, this is for you. Like that is meant for you. But I think people have a hard time with that. So, and obviously in high school there's immaturity involved. So I just took a lot of heat for that. But
it's so crazy.
I didn't mind. It honestly made me better in a way.
No,
you know?
totally. Character building for sure.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. Whoa, they're building.
There's a lot happening behind the fishbowl today, guys.
huge items are just being brought. Like, what? But no, that's one thing that I feel like now in my adult life that I miss out is it's kind of difficult to do organized sports.
Well, you keep saying you want to go to this gym and do gymnastics.
Okay, guys, I'm so excited. I found this kind of open gym, but it's only like from like 8:30 to 10:30 on like a Friday
Which is also
night.
a crazy time. I'm
It's
sorry.
because it's like a kids gym, and like the younger teens are like throughout the day, so the adults are like really late at night at a really inconvenient time. So I've been trying to go, but it keeps on not working out because it's like on a Friday night too. But like that's the most on-brand thing for me to be like, yeah, Friday night I'm going to the tumbling gym. So I'm trying to get there and like go back like on. I just want to be on a tumble track again, like on a spring floor. I obviously used to be able to tumble and like do all of that, and I believe I still can.
Sometimes when we're at parties, you whip things out and I die. Like if you've just had like one drink, it's like, I can do the worm, I can do a backflip, and I'm like, Jesus, like get this girl out of here.
I need to be on a proper like padded floor, and like I wanna get back into it.
Remember that time we were at a club and I tried to convince you to like get into the middle of the circle? We were at like radio on Adelaide, I want to say, and I was like, get in there, just do an aerial, and you're like, Torri, like we are at a club right now.
Yeah, she's like, my friend can do a backflip. Do you want her to do it?
I was totally like egging you on, and like I really thought that you were in the mood, but then you're very much like, dude, like we are in public, like you've got to cut this. Yeah.
So that's our next endeavor. You will catch us.
You also joined a volleyball team this year, which was like super.
I've only gone like 4 or 5. Like I haven't been in like a month and a half because it's always on like a Sunday, and a Sunday I feel like I'm always like I'm never in town on the weekends.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
But you know what? No excuses. We've been hitting our half marathon training. We have our 20K coming up, which is the furthest distance before the 21K, which is the half marathon. I feel like we need like a GoPro on us throughout the whole race to document it. Like I don't know how we need to capture this, but we've been building up so much hype. That, like,
yeah, we need a video. We need video content.
A live stream for 2 hours. Okay, guys, we're approaching. Like
that would be something I would love to coordinate. I don't know if that's possible, but
oh my goodness.
The thing is, I'm gonna look hideous and like probably just be like really in the dumps. So like I don't think it's
wearing. Are you gonna be in shorts or leggings? Because I have to wear leggings, otherwise my thighs will chafe so horribly.
Yeah, no, I've got thighs, so we're definitely gonna be wearing leggings. There's no doubt.
I feel like I run in the high-waisted ones or the ones with those really cool ankles. You know that are like a little like they're like.
I like high-waisted because then you're not like constantly pulling them up. I like high-waisted and then just like sports bra. Yeah. The weather is something
Are you wearing just a sports bra or a t-shirt on top?
Sports bra. Yes. Well, that's my vision. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Nike and figure out what we're wearing.
Team Nike? Yeah, amazing. Wow. Okay, well, I think we should do our roses and thorns because we have a lot to catch up on because I haven't seen you in a week. So I need this to be like a roses and thorns.
Okay, amazing.
Encompassing the past, like...
week and a bit?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Hit me with your thorn.
Hit me with a thorn.
Hit me with it.
A thorn is... Oh, a thorn was that last week when we were in New York. We were at this party, I won't say where.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
It was very much a great reminder that in New York I'm a 2 and in Toronto I'm maybe a 5.
We definitely downgrade.
But also just like you don't fit in. There's like people that are so glamorous everywhere. Well, we were talking about this, like everyone there was smoking, which is just shocking to me. I'm very much like not a part of that culture in any way. So I don't like get it. The nightlife there is so different.
Right. And like they just like won't do dinner and they'll just like all be like smoking so many cigarettes. I'm like, girl, we need to go out and like get some din. Like this is not.
I know. Like
it's definitely a different kind of environment. I mean, it's just
I
don't know.
And it's not that it like
very noticeable,
it's not that it put like a really bad taste in my mouth or anything, but it definitely just makes you feel like I'd rather be at home.
Well, same. It's like I get it. Everyone has their vice. Everyone has their things. But like,
no, totally.
My lifestyle is just so different right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
A rose is that I've been eating like super well this week.
I saw you post like cupcake.
Yeah, no, I've been eating super well,
so
and like
good.
I feel like when you eat well, you just feel like $1 million, and that's well, because last week I ate like a Krispy Kreme donut and had like
you got them Uber Eats to
I
my
know.
house.
So, anyways, I'm on the right track. Like this week is like a new leaf. I am living. So that's a rose.
I love that for you. That's
amazing. I'm excited. My second rose is I'm going to We Day tomorrow, which I've actually never been to. I know it's like a big thing in Toronto every year, but I've never been.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So I'm excited for that, and I feel like they do a lot of cool like vocal performances and stuff, and there's like a lot of artists, and so
just be in a room of like all these like.
Oh, I'm going to the premiere of Cirque du Soleil tonight as well.
That's not tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight.
No, It's tomorrow.
Dude, it's tonight. They changed the date. Are you actually serious?
Are you making this up?
No, I actually swear to God it's tonight.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's tonight.
Wait.
I had it in my calendar for tomorrow too. They sent an email like last week and they changed the date. Live on the podcast,
Wait,
Jaclyn has
what?
double booked herself.
No, I was so excited for this. It was tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
It's on Thursday, September 19th.
Oh, there's 2 times. I got changed. I'm going to the Wednesday premiere. Tonight's the premiere. So I'm going tonight. I don't know, maybe you didn't get invited to the premiere.
Toronto's premiere event.
Yeah, dude, okay. I'll circle back with you off air, but it's tonight, so I'll just let you know. Anyways, the premiere is tonight. I'm going to that, and that's a rose. And then a rose bud. Well, you maybe are, but just not to the premiere. You're going to tomorrow's show.
Sorry.
And then a thorn, a rosebud. I'm looking forward to, well, running our 20K. That's it. That's the next goal. How about you?
Oh, what a week it's been. I've been like back and forth from New York, traveling a ton. But you know what? I should start with my rose, or my thorn first, not my rose. My thorn is that, you know what it is? Getting back from any travels, when you have the suitcase, it was only a carry-on, but doing the laundry. It's like not even an excessive amount of clothes, but you're just like, the laundry from
Actually, just unpacking in general, I don't enjoy.
That's what I'm saying. So I kind of opened it last night, but like didn't deal with it. So I need to go back and deal with that. So that's a thorn. And then a rose. Well, I was actually going to say Cirque du Soleil, but I don't think I'm going anymore, if I'm honest. I think I was uninvited. My new thorn is, rose. Whew. My new rose is that, this might be a touchy subject.
Okay.
Because you're not coming.
Yeah.
But Khloe Kardashian is coming.
So I didn't want to tell you, I'm actually meeting her tonight. Yeah.
Wait, what? So am I not going to meet Khloe on, wait, what?
No, I guess you are, but I'm going to a separate meet and greet with Hudson's Bay tonight to meet her. So
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then you're going to Cirque du Soleil.
So touchy, not so much, because I get to meet her.
And then you're going to Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Sorry, baby.
Well, I have a new thorn. Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to say. I'm very excited to meet Chloe, though. Money and I are going to get along.
Why didn't you start with this today when I saw you? Because I was going to email them.
Well, I didn't want to, rub it in.
I hate her. Okay, well, I thought it was cool. I'm going to go, hang out with Chloe on Thursday, but she's going tonight, so whatever. Oh, good. My next rose is...
I've thrown you off.
Yeah, I can't even think of another rose now.
Nothing is good anymore.
Gonna get my legs lasered today.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Ooh. Well, you go to the premiere and hang out with Chloe. Okay, so then my rosebud. What is happening this week? Oh, I'm going to Just for Laughs kind of comedy show Friday night, and I have a friend coming up.
Nice.
From out of town that I haven't seen in a while, so it'll be nice kind of catch up.
Nice.
Go on a nice night out. So
love it.
That.
Well, thank you for tuning into episode 19 of Poddy Talk, the podcast where we should talk ourselves.
I'm Jac.
And I'm Tor.
And we have crushed another episode, but we haven't crushed those KMs just yet. So stay tuned on our Instagram stories to see if we survive this 20K.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.